I don't even know where to begin. Well, it happened. It turns out democracy is a great idea. Uh, let's just take a moment and take it all in. Really absorb the totality of what has happened. Where can I see the changes? That's not it. Click the bell. Okay. Okay. We're here. We did it. The symbol's up top. What symbol on top? These are just little decorations. I had the most wholesome person ever said changes their shit show. Rest my case. What up, Fiddler? Hey, remember when the internet renamed Mountain Dew flavor to Hitler did nothing wrong? Same thing happened to Gwent. Okay, let's not exaggerate. Yeah, Parasite Buff didn't make it through. And Drago Larva did. Unseen Elder did. Angus, your boy. Angus, we did it. We got him. Ruin Buff, this is me. I take credit for this. 100% me. I was already playing Marina. We could just... I don't know. It's decent in Golden Necker, I guess. 16 NG nerfs. How do they dodge, 44 nerfs? That's a pretty big victory for NG. River Scout. Yo. I don't know where to begin. Wait, what about Trey here? Oh, yeah, the icons. Oh, yeah, that's right. Even the icons are wrong. Increase, decrease. Hold on. In case anyone is unclear, let's enhance. Aha. And Christoph says, I'm too nitpicky. Just read, man. Just read. It says decrease. Why are you confused? Oh my god. Increases are cool. I also don't know why there's 16 cards here. Was it because slave driver and no, it's sorted by provision, not by the it's not sorted by like how many votes they got. But like two of them were tied exactly. So they sent both of them through? Like, 2 of these somewhere got tied. And, like, if there was a tie for rank 1, it wouldn't matter. So it had to be a tie for rank 15. So which of these two things got the exact same number of Pepegas to vote for them? You can clearly see how decks got changed, not cards. And how do we feel about that cards are still dead? And how do we feel most of the cards are gold cards? Yeah. Like, I literally said, changing high provision cards is like the worst thing you can do. And look at like, it's all like above this, it's all gold. And so many 15, 14, 13. Look at how many got changed here. Like, the provision increase to a 10 provision or a 12 provision gold is like the worst thing you can do in terms of your impact. These are people who didn't watch my video. If it goes on with like this with revenge nerfing, especially on NG or any other faction who killed the game, so it's the first one. See, you probably should intervene before things get out of hand. Also, most communities understand balancing. They just vote on what they play and what they find annoying. Plus, content creators are not abusing the council. Like, if there's one takeaway from this, it's that content creators have little to no influence on society. Which, I mean, what do you like? Like, the Pepega majority is here, and they're voting. +1 power. I mean, like, I think on the power decreases and provision decreases, there was a lot more consensus. That's the impression I got from Malaysian's comments in Trusky's chat. Because they were talking about, like, hey, like, this is kind of terrible. What if we limited the number of changes? Clearly too many changes have gone through. And me and Killiganon were like trying to see if it was possible to make it so that we get 10 buffs and 5 nerfs, right? For each, like, for power and provisions. Like, because I didn't want, because the sort of the drawback to limiting to only 5 changes per category was, you know, it would take us 3 times as long to fix this shit show that has been caused now, right? It would be harder to revert some of these changes. Because reverting a change is always easier than making the change, right? Because we can all unify around Magic Compass, and this will 100% get nerfed next patch. You can't vote against a change that hasn't happened yet, right? So it might go back and forth, but so one strategy might end up being that we all vote for Magic Compass to go to, like, either we decide, like, yeah, so we all make Magic Compass go to 10 provisions next patch, next cycle, and then we have one more cycle before Masters. So then we all make sure we pick like 3 really random things, the same 3 random things that no one else would ever suspect. We vote on the provision decrease so that they won't be canceled out by an increase, right? So that we steal the top, like, well, wouldn't be 3. We need to steal 15 slots. Quit your complaining. You got loads of nerfs the community has wanted for a long time. Is that a serious comment, Norman? Or are you being sarcastic? No, I'm taking it as a good faith comment. Not everybody sees things the same way. It's fine to have a different opinion. I think Rain TWI certainly sees that he sees a lot of good in these changes. So, you know what? Let's do this. Let's just go through the changes, and I'll tell you my review of each change. What I think, whether it's a good change or a bad change, and what the implications are. How's that? So let's start with increase in power. Vi +1. I can't believe we didn't think of this. But we weren't thinking of ways to break the game. Chewing Dragon says best patch, it is so fun. Give it a few days, and when every single game you play on the ladder is Golden Necker Pirates, you will change your mind. But that's a thing for later. So a one, you typically consume a Vi like what, 7 or 8 times in one game. It's 3. It goes to 27. So this is like an 8-point buff. Wait, no. This is 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. How many points is that? It's roughly like 50 to 60 point buff to V. This is a 50-point buff. Isn't it? Because it's just plus 1 times number of I. Okay. Okay, yeah. Alright, so then this is like just the number of consumes, right? It's like 8. Okay. I mean, Vi's dumb, but whatever. It's not too big a deal. 2 points per eat? Why is it 2 points per eat? It's not like the power is doubled or something each time you eat it. It's just a linear plus 3. Yeah, I got confused as well first, and because I was like, you know, the first one is like, I don't know. 1 on consume. Did a consumer get buffed? Oh, sorry, it's 9 points or whatever. Because you end up leaving the Vi on the board at the end. Yeah, it's fine. It's 1 for V plus the number of consumes. Yeah, what Fishy Time said is correct. Sorry, I got confused at first as well. Saskia plus 1 power. Whatever. It's the 14 provision that is a bigger problem, but did you enjoy the game and buffing all of those other ridiculous? Nah. NG will be fine. But let's not jump to conclusions. I'm gonna review all the changes, and then I'll review each of the factions. I'll tell you what I think is gonna happen for each faction. F, as in the stream died? It's time for people to play other factions. Not only abuse NG, Vikito. Whatever. Chat's gonna say chat things. Oh, okay. Yeah, music does that sometimes, unfortunately. Okay. Unseen Elder, buff to 7. If you remember, this was initially one of my recommendations, and then, like, after hearing some feedback from Puzzle and others, Is it better? Mine has? Alright. Yeah, my sound settings got changed when Windows updated. I need like... Oh, we are familiar. What is that song? Is this better? Sorry, where are we? So I initially suggested this, but then I ended up changing my own vote to like Casino Bouncers instead of Unseen Elder. Because I thought, you know, Elder's real problem is the 12 provisions. Making it harder to kill, like... Because especially in devotion, it would just be like boom, 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 right? Like if you let it live for one turn, you take a lot of damage. If all your stuff was already bleeding, and against a devotion vamp, and this comes down, like you have 7 units. This will deploy for like. I mean, this will be like Sval Blood almost on the turn that it's played. After that, it's probably like dies down, but yeah, it's gonna have like a bit of an impact in devotion, which we'll try. Don't worry. But like, I mean, he's 12 provision. He's the most powerful being in the universe, or whatever. Like, he needs to be scary. He was kind of neutered before. 6 power, whatever. It's still bad. Brothen's got a power buff. Why? I almost like. I wonder if just the Chinese Gwent community punked us all, because they nerfed Enslave, and they buffed Double Cross, so they can play more high rolly and Henry bullshit. Like they just want everything to be a casino. Because think about it, Compass got buffed, Portal got buffed, you know, Brothen's got buffed, Vigo got buffed. Like, I'm surprised we don't see Alzer and Uma in here. That was all you. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about the factions later. But Brothen's power buff is big because he at 4 he always procs assimilate twice if you get a Duchess Informant, which you should with Brothen's. So that means it takes 6 removal to remove now. Before it was 5 removal. That's a big difference. Like that's not a huge difference, but that's a difference. Especially when Artaud and Torres also go to like 5, right? And now Vigo, which used to have a base power of 2, will go to 5 when you make a Marine, right? No, we'll go to 4 when you make a Marine, but we'll go to 5 if you make a Sergeant. We'll or 5 when you make a spy informant. Someone desperately wants to play Henry bullshit. I mean, we'll see. Yeah, it's like I don't think any like enslaved advocates were asking for this. People are fine with these being removable. I mean, they were good cards. It didn't need, like, who was asking for power buff to these? I didn't even hear a single streamer or pro player ask for these changes. Oh yeah, when you go slave driver into sergeant, this goes to 6. This deploys for the same power as Varina. Same provision too. Interesting. Conspiracy? Probably. It's silent based majority. No, it's not. A YouTuber did? Which YouTuber? Excellent. I really want to know. Dosen. I told you guys you overestimate Reddit and underestimate YouTube. Oh my god. Yeah, Dosen has like 4 times as many viewers as me, minimum, on YouTube. I'm telling you, man. So many of these guys are on YouTube. What else did Dosen suggest? Did he suggest the compass change? No, Dame is a provision increase, Jan. But that's not good. Phoenix power buff. I saw that suggested in somebody's chat once, and I almost said, hey, that's a good call out. But like, the problem with this was always that Vitality is such a dumb thing for this card. There's a scene over there that requires you bleed. It's more playable now. Maybe we'll see it. You can also AQ this, can't you? Yeah, you could AQ this and earn it, and we misdistribute it or whatever. Good muzzle target, yeah. Muzzle's back on the menu. Is Phoenix above the Flaminica? No. It's too expensive. In game, click on the little bell and then click on the votes are in. So Crow Mother got a power increase. Yay, more brain dead points for alchemy. Ruin got a power increase. This is a good change because this is like 4 or 5 points to Ruin and it will enable more consume based gameplay. I mean, like, a lot has changed for the game and this is good. It's freshening up the meta. But some of these changes are just like, what were they thinking? Redanian +1 power. Okay. This was weird. Nithrol needed minus provisions. I'm still not gonna play it. It's like, if Nithrol all it needed was +1 power, it would have been played in Wild Hunt Frost, where it gets automatically 1 power if there's Frost on the opposite row. And it is not played in Frost, which has dominance. Like, if this card has so much synergy with Frost and still wasn't played, it's still not gonna get played. Yeah, Lauren, I said the same thing. I said, in fact, I need to upload my review of the Trusky changes. When it comes to Crow Mother, I said it in my own recommendations. I said it when I reviewed Pajas, when I reviewed Lyrios, when I reviewed Truskies. Every time I said this should be 9, not 5 power, because 9 provisions would have given them more flexibility, enabled new deck types, like Crow Mother and Golden Necker would have been cool. But you know, people just get an idea in their head and they get like fascinated. Oh, +1 power to this is actually very clever because it's like +3 power. My vote's counting for 3. I get to vote 3 times. Wow, I'm the most cleverest geniuses ever. Speaking of which, also Cleaver's muscle. Coincidence? No, I am Cleaver. Margarita is a very important card in a deck that lacks control. I don't agree with killing Ball though. What? Promise you, Lauren knows what cards are and how important they are. Like try and assume, if you don't know the people you're talking to, assume that they're better than you at the video game, because usually they are. Alright, Black Rayla also got a power buff. These two seem like the same person recommended them. Are you enjoying the Night of Long Nightmares? I don't know what you mean. Everything is fine. Vesemir. Good change. Cleaver's Muscle. This was like, this change doesn't solve anything, but now I can't vote for a provision buff for Cleaver because this is at 6. So, grats. Whoever did this, you've now nerfed Cleaver. Good job. Because I was going to get Cleaver to 10 provisions. Just like I got Unseen Elder to 7 power. I was going to get Cleaver to 10 provisions. But now I can't because you all went and did this. So, good job. Crimes are fucking dead. Revenant. Yeah, this was one of the changes we recommended or suggested. I didn't vote for it because I knew like a million people would just get horny at the thought of, oh my god, that's like 9 points. Wow, I haven't seen this card in like umpteen minutes. I would love to see this thing that I've never seen before. So they voted, they were gonna vote for it. So I ended up not voting for myself. You'll miss ball decks, to be honest. No, you won't. Nausicaa's been power crept? No, it hasn't. But, Lauren, I'd rather have too many changes than not enough changes. The game getting stagnant is worse than some bad changes getting through. Did this man just write Nausicaa as power crept? Yes, he did. He just literally said Nausicaa as power crept. Bro, as of yesterday, it was in every Nilfgaardian deck. Just look at the top 16 and top 64 decks. If you find an NG deck that doesn't have Nausicaa Sergeant... Alright, whatever. Already last twice the Compass decks? Oh no. That could not have been avoided. When Nausicaa first came out, it was insane. Yeah, because it was 5 provisions, Norman. And because Vigo was 8p and Brothens was like 4 power, which it is again. Vigo used to be 8 provisions. And Slave Driver was 4 power. and Renfree was 13 provisions and 7 power. Like, all of those things were there together at the same time. Now, for playing as 10s? No, there's only one for provision that plays as 10. So, no, I don't think it's safe to say power. Well, actually, there's 2, because Oxford Scholar. Okay, Nausicaa are not the most busted thing in Gwent right now, but that doesn't mean they're power crept. There's a difference between, like, the word power crept literally means that so many things have been buffed around it that relative to the average, it is too bad. Like, Wyvern is power crept, okay? Nausicaa Sergeant is not. So I think you maybe misspoke. You meant to say Nausicaa is not nearly as strong as it was on release. I think we can all agree on that. On the reworked version release. Okay. So yeah. This is my favorite power decrease. No, actually it's not. The rework one is. So let's talk about power decreases. So every time somebody brought this up, I was like, y'all, like, initially, like, El Calora had it in a power decrease because he's like, Torres and Artaud are really the thing that's busted about NG. Torres giving spying and Artaud playing a gold. Nothing, like, that's what they wanted nerfed. About assimilate, right? About enslave, assimilate, or just every deck could run this. And I was like, El Calora, you know that because it's an evolving card, the second form won't be affected, right? He's like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah. So you're just changing like a 22 to a 21. He's like, oh. Well, never mind then. And he took it out. And that's it. Like, so you can see right here, the second form still says 4. And for those of you watching on mobile, don't worry, I got you. I got you. We have the technology. Let me show you this card in full glory and devotion. See? I know it says 3 right there. Up here. I know it says 3. But it's actually 4. So good job. When it's an assimilate engine, you've done nothing to it. Oh no! My Spore will now play for... Oh, I exited out of the wrong thing. Here, this is how you get back to. You go to what's new, and then you click over here on the results area. Oh no! My opponent's Curse of Corruption will now play for 19 points instead of 20 points. I'm sure he'll be very sad. Sup ladies, my name is... Yes, this is the future. 3 equals 4. At least it shows in game. Maybe they'll notice it. Svalblood lost 1 power, which is a terrible change, by the way, because if opponent played Svalblood before and they didn't have Totem on the board because you Heatwave did, or you bled it out of them in round 1 or something, this used to go to 9 on deploy, so you could still Geralt it. But not anymore. Now it's going to go to 8. So you can't kill it with Geralt. Does Taurus have 15 provisions? I don't know, man. I don't know. So to 11 power. Alright, good job, chat. Or good job, Gwenters. Now just nerf it 7 more times, and it will play as a 12 for 12. Look, it's still a 19 for 12 immune card that thins your deck by 1. What are you talking about? Like, what is 1 power gonna do to this? Oh my god, a 5% nerf to the massive amount of power that it had. I'm sure no one will play Sov now.
We did it, boys. Sov is dead. It's all gonna be Hemdall now. How will Sov compete with Hemdall now? Like, Hemdall may not be immune, but he's got a big sword. This guy just has an axe. He sucks. I've passed Balding career. Angus to 6, yes. Finally, I can just parasite this shit and never see it again every time. I'm just gonna put parasite in all my decks just for this Angus. as Nilfgaard, I'll yoink it and replay it so many times. And I'm now running Anna also, just to make sure they never think about playing Heist again. I think they should change this card to, at the end of your turn, if it's in the graveyard, do a thing. So that, like, Heist players will just discard it on turn 1. I think that would be an improvement to everyone's life, including theirs. We were admiring, yes. Did you notice the increase icon is a down arrow and the decrease is an up arrow? Alright. Also, the thing you miss is, like, in my videos I said, hey guys, making changes to like 10p and above cards on provision will do like very little, because all that you'll do is like cut a 5p, right? Nerfing a 12 is basically nerfing a 5p. You're not doing anything. And same with like buffing a 12 to an 11. Like, what is any of this gonna do? But look, all of the changes are to like the shit that people think about the most. Oh, that Philippe, is Philippe here? Philippe! Okay, Philippe's here. But like the most impactful of all the Masquerade Ball changes, the one that would have been impactful in terms of provisions would have been this to 9. Not that it would have mattered, but like Rompal you can just swap out. You're never swapping Philippe out. So like this isn't gonna cost them anything. This was already not like the best version, in my opinion. People are bad at the game. But mostly, the people who made this system could have easily foreseen this. Like, this was obvious. From the moment it was announced, like, 9 months ago or whatever, and I said this is a shit system. For some reason, this is now 12. Wait. You got a power decrease? Huh? Whatever, it's not gonna matter. You boosted anyway. Nobody was leaving this at 6 against any removals. Like, either it's behind a defender and you know they can't get to it, or you were boosting it. What does this do? -1 point. Oh no! Calvite -1 point. This is a start. 2 more -1 power, and maybe Calvite will be balanced. Or maybe just, I don't know, one or two. Like, he just had too much tempo. Calvite deck should have a bit of a tempo penalty in round 1. But the better way to do that was just making Marines be 6 provisions. But no, we didn't do that. Vanadane also went to 6. That's a... You know, I didn't advocate for that. I said just Angus, but this is what happens. Half the people voted for Vanadane, -1. Half the people voted for Angus, so we get both. Who could have predicted this happens? It's almost like the analogy I made is that the system the CDPR has done is like a presidential election where there's like 1,600 people are eligible to run for president, but you don't know who's running, and then you have to vote. Like, if I don't know, like, if there's no runoff, how do you vote? Too many participants, no way to stop silly votes. Right. I suggested to Malegion one simple change that would make the system, in my view, completely tolerable and fine. Which I would have told them if they had released any of this maybe 2 months ago, or shared their plans or asked for my feedback or anything, right? You ready for it? Every season, there's 2 cycles, just like now. The first one, we suggest changes like this. And then we have 2 weeks to vote yes or no on each of the changes. And only the top half of each category go through. That's it. Literally, that's it. It solves the problem of, you know, like, Shiniri, like, controlling all 60 by, like, whatever. It solves the problem of, like, all the Chinese players, like, speaking in, like, last minute. They all, like, without, just, like, on the last day of voting, without telling anyone, they all vote for, like, Banart Studio to be 5. Like, you can do lots of trolly things right now. Because, like, basically, I might suggest things that I think are good, right? And maybe most of them, nobody else, not enough people vote for, so they don't meet the threshold. All those votes are wasted. And now I get no say. So right now, the best way for me to vote is to try and predict what people are going to vote for, but not the stuff that everyone's going to vote for, because that's already going to win. I have to pick the stuff that's, like, on the threshold. And how the fuck am I supposed to know that? I'm a streamer who talks to people for 8 hours a day, interacts with community, watches other people play. Like, I'm about as in tune as it gets. And I don't have any fucking clue what's going to go through. Like, most of these changes surprised me. So, like, why do they think it would be okay for us to vote in the blind? Like, like, elections are not new. We've had them since, you know, Greek democracy and probably before that. Like, why don't they read a book? How do things work? Yeah. Like, is there anything that, like, has there ever been a game decided by direct democracy? Ever? Has there ever been a society, like, a group larger than 10? Has there ever been one a functioning group larger than 10 that worked through direct democracy? Like, come on. We need exit polling, yeah. Now you're just being naive. Imagine reading a book. I'm sorry. I'm being too negative and toxic again. So I asked them why they didn't do a balance council style, and to Malaysian's credit, he was in Trusky's chat, like, engaging and answering questions. So, you know, kudos to him for that. Give me one moment, please. I realized I never uploaded my reaction video from yesterday, so I'm just making sure that goes live. So I suggested to Malaysian that, and he said unfortunately it's too late to make that change. Like, a second phase of approved deny, like, means that my votes are never wasted. I get to first round, I get to vote for all the things I think are good, and if it goes through, then we can vote yes or no. And then, like, also, people will vote for nerfs. Like, if I'm happy with vampires, I'm not gonna vote for vampire buffs to cancel out nerfs or something. Like, how am I supposed to know people think that, like, Oriana is OP and should be 3 power? You know what I mean? Like, I would never get to have a say. If enough people just pick a random card and vote to nerf it or buff it, like, I never get to have a say in that. It's just an arbitrary 60 changes out of 1,600 cards. Like, I didn't expect people to be buffing Roach. Or, like, nerfing Enslaved Leader. What? But, like, maybe this breaks the deck. I don't know. Or A to 13. Like, no, Novigrad to 11. This one made no sense. At all. I think, like, bad players don't understand how good this card is. Anyway. So, Ixora got a power nerf. 7 power. It's not like it's going to put it in removal range, but I guess 7 tempo is better than 8. Probably fine. Doesn't really address how the card works, though. Like, Boat and Ixora didn't need to change at all, in my opinion. At least not a power change, for sure. People want... Maybe... Val. Knock it off. Knock it off. Please don't do that thing that smart people do, where they're like, try to come up with some convoluted but rational explanation for idiotic behavior. You think the same people who voted for Ekrontia and Ixora power nerf also made Novigrad be 11 provisions? They're just different people voting for different things. Like, bunch of people who thought this card is like not good. And a bunch, like, people are just dumb, man. I mean, he's not saying that's what they're thinking. He's like, well, maybe. He was trying to look for a possible logical explanation. But sometimes the most logical thing is that there was no logic. Philippe, -1 power? I guess. I mean, it'd still be 6 with enough statuses. But, like, what you're really doing here... Like, if people could remove Philippe, they would remove it. They wouldn't care if it was 5 or 6 or 17. What you're doing by nerfing Philippe by 1 power is you're nerfing its tempo. And also nerfing its floor. Which is not something good to do. You should nerf its ceiling. Sneaking a buff? Or people are just morons? I think it's the latter. But, like, this is another example of exactly why randomly picking the most voted for suggestions and instantly implementing them is wrong. Because you get conflicting... Like, a balanced team would never make these 2 changes at the same time. It makes no sense. Right? And neither would voters. If I knew that by voting, like, that both of these are going to go through, I would, like, say vote no on all 3 of them, actually. Because it's dumb. And if less than half the people want your change to go through, then it's probably not a good change. Why is that a problem? Or if you really think people will be salty about their suggestions getting rejected, then only the top half, the half that we all agree on, like the top 8 for each category based on votes would go through. Like, that would have been, I think, a much, like, would it have been perfect? No. Would it have been better than this? Yes, by leaps and bounds. This is just an outpouring of years of trauma caused by stacking problems and dev inaction? Is it? I mean, some of it is. Like, the Masquerade Ball stuff might be. But... I guess people just pick... It's a lot of people, like... The nerfs, they're just, like... The stuff they've been losing to or they found annoying. I guess this is the nerfs. This whole section, it's just everything that people hate playing against. Isn't it? Is there a card in here that we don't hate playing against? People hate playing against Cultist. Hate playing against Temple. Hate Rompali. Hate Heist. Hate Spatulation. Like, every single one of these cards, when your opponent plays it, you have a bad feeling. And I think it's just as simple as that. It's just a negative, instinctive, emotional reaction to cards that we don't like, we don't think are fun. We hate it when our opponent plays these cards. And this is, I think, in hindsight, seems pretty obvious that's how people will vote. Now, these two categories is different, right? Because these are aspirational, except for the provision decrease to enslave. Even here, they've got some hate voting going on. Like, when you lose to enslave, it's not because they could yoink it because they had one more provision. It's not because the leader was 15 provision. Same with this. Like, it'd be one thing if people could nerf Arniel, I'd understand that, right? But like, you're almost never losing to these decks because of one provision. You're like, oh man, if he was forced to downgrade that assassination to a joust, I surely would have won that game. Like, you're never thinking that. If only that Mage Torturer was the 4-piece Spine Giver, then I would have won this game. You're never thinking that. You just associate this icon with the pain and misery that was caused to you, and so you just hate nerfing it. So, in that context, it all makes sense. People hate Treyherd. I also hate Treyherd. I'm glad he's 4 power. Sergeant, this was one of my suggestions, and I think it was a deserved. People go, "Oh my God, it's 3 power now." No, it's 9. Shut up. It's 9. No one plays this in round 1. Like, and you don't have to, because this is a card. Alba, I did not see that one coming. I mean, it's fine. Like, Lock shouldn't come with tempo, especially since it has armor. But this is my least favorite nerf to a Lock, but it's also the only nerf to this that was like even remotely rational. Like, if this was 6 provisions, like, what? Why even play it? Is the random chaos better than inertia, you mean? Or entropy? No. Valkyries. I actually think, like I said, like, you know what? I'd rather have 60 randomly generated changes than this system. Because people's emotional reaction is bound to do harm. And 60 random changes wouldn't. Just joined the stream. What's the vibe? I don't know, man. Look around. What do you think the vibe is? If only there was any visual clues about the vibe. Hold on, let me help you. Is it clearer now? Do you understand the vibe? Bro. Here, I'll spell it out for you. There you go. That's the vibe. Yes. Oh God, here we go. Oh my God. Cheating all over the place. Yes, Spear anxiety here sometimes. Like, after a day of getting RNG'd and Snap, when he's in bed trying to relax, what Spear does to wind down is like, man, today was a bit frustrating. Let me look at Gwent. Yes, look, it's all burning down. I made such a good decision to leave. Wow, I have it so much better now. It's like looking at a picture of yourself in middle school with like the weird nerdy glasses and stuff. You're like, damn, I kind of look okay now. Yeah, I'm happy how my life turned out. She was like, I may have gotten purple farted today 6 times, but at least I didn't get triggered. Score! not do this now? It's happening, Benjoza, whether you like it or not. Just ride the wave. It will punch itself out. There's a limit. Each person can only do it 5 times a day, so they'll run out of juice. I've already talked about why I think this was not the right change. This makes no sense at all whatsoever. Like if they hadn't literally just before this change, it's like the people who voted for this haven't even played this season. I haven't seen a single cultist. Not a one. Like the people didn't even read the patch notes because the font change made cultists literally unplayable.
Hello, motherfucker.
However, may encourage new players to spend as best they can change rapidly. So, ladies, Gwent card cost is a factor.
It's just fun.
Certainly doesn't increase revenue. Stop it. Stop skeeting everywhere. Just let them rest in peace, right? Cultists will never be seen again. Cultists are still toxic. See, Val is a perfect example of someone who doesn't play the game and he's just hate voting against cultists. If he could. If he cared enough to vote. Okay. Provisions increases. A buff to jackpot to 13 provisions. Good change.
Another one.
Nice. Eternal Eclipse. Oh my god. Not only is this getting heat wave, it's also 15 provisions. How do you really feel about this scenario? God damn. It's not Reddit, man. It's YouTube. Second column? What did I skip? Oh. So as a joke, I said I hope people don't look. I was like, sure would be a shame if people nerf this to 1 power.
People like me.
Yo, Chief Blue, thanks for the follow, man. Welcome to the stream. So now you can't click it. They've got to put a minimum power threshold on some cards, man. It just doesn't work. You voted for Raven to see it was possible? People really... See, Norman. Guys, Norman is the closest thing in my chat to an accurate sentiment. Like, I bet you if I'd asked him what would you buff and nerf, he would have given me a list like this. So Norman, you're a treasure. You are our one and only, you are our one-person focus group into the mind of the Gwent Pepega. Please don't take that the wrong way. Like, I mean it with all the respect and love in the world. What else are you thinking about nerfing next season? Next cycle? We need to know. I need to prepare. Reaver to 0. Is that what's happening next? Random neutral Witcher nerfs. I see. Norman is like our canary in the coal mine, man. Hey, Norman, are you done with this or is this getting nerfed to 16 next patch? How high is this gonna go? Join me in buffing Erendite to 9p and Heatwave to 9p. Spiro, please. Spiro, stop it. You never know, I'm not gonna stop. Good for you, man. Reaver Void, send me a message and we'll create a coalition to make Reaver the best card in the history of Gwent. Make everything 4p. What up, Decode? Long time no see. And I thought I was crazy to lobby pulling the strings at 5. Yeah, you were crazy. This is so bad. So terrible for the game. And I like how the Jackal buff didn't make it. Just this. Okay. Temple is 13p now. Good. Nuke it from orbit. Make this card 15p. Temple, I want you to take a hard, long look at this guy. Yeah, Eternal Eclipse, he used to be the hotness too. People used to play him. He used to be played in like Masters qualifiers. And now look at him. I wouldn't play this if it was 4 provisions. Well, maybe at 4. But 5 provisions, I wouldn't play this. That's you. That's your future if you don't stop. Remember, chat. Don't OD on provisions. Someone who's played Collusion a bunch today, the deck is feel strong, but not as strong as it was. The tag nerf on blind, I heard the deck a lot. Yeah. That was the change we needed reverted in the last balance update. And we didn't need this. It's still gonna be good though. Yo guys, yo much imagine. Phil has been put to life. Everyone talk. Hey. That's not me, man. This is not my... Don't put that shit on me. Like, you can blame me for this. I take responsibility for this. Maybe you can give me credit for this. And this. Those 3, like, I'm at least partially responsible for. Ruin, Unseen Elder, and Drago Larva. Nothing else. Every other one of these changes is just people hate voting. Like, every card that they hated seeing their opponent play, they voted to nerf. That's all it is. It's very good, but it's still good, but it's very clunky. What about Madame in it, Valsters? Have you tried Madame in a collusion deck? Like Madame and Siggy? That's a lot of thinning and consistency and points and tags. And G has 6P bronze card game? And G has lots of 5P bronzes that are very, very good. Slave Driver, sorry, Light Cav is still there. Mage Torture, the Purify one. They got Crossbows. They got Nilfgaardian Knights. They've got Master of Puppets. They've got Assassination, Remedy, Coded Weapons, Amnesty. They got the Doggo Thinners. They've got... I mentioned Crossbows already, I think. Alba's still perfectly fine. Like, you're not going to miss that 1 point by that much. They got Pikemen. Pikemen didn't get nerfed, right? Yeah, like, honestly, Pikemen might have been more of an issue than Dames. Because Dames have a floor of 4, right? And without another unit, they don't grow. Whereas, like, Pikemen, they're just 2 points a turn. They just are. Like, is there any a better Crow Mother? Except you can't play this from hand. But yeah, it is. It is very good. I mean, Roach is also a better Crow Mother. By that logic. I mean... But Crow Mother is a druid. And you can kill it and revive it back in the same round. Well, so is Redanian. This spawns birds that you can transform with Axel. And this triggers your Geddyneth. You're not ever playing this from hand. And it doesn't proc any scenarios. Like, this from hand is 10 points. So it's not a brick. Or 9 points, rather. Come on, my drug. Hey, I said this should be 9p, but nobody listened to me. They made it 10 power instead. Like, it's also, whatever changes were first suggested seem to have taken hold. They just spread like wildfire, man. Like, nobody was checking in the last day or so. Dame's triggering during opponent's turn is bad? Yeah, but like, I mean, that's just like with this kind of deck, you win against vampires and you win against symbiosis and you win against like a couple of things that give themselves status, but mostly you win against decks that don't have enough control. We'll get there, Spear. We'll get there. Okay, so Rompali, made to be 13p, good. Only because it's got Jean's picture and he deserves to not see play. No, Spear's gonna cast Masters with me. We're gonna have our own unofficial, like, bad boy cast. The shunned streamers, or ex-streamer in that case. The R-rated stream, where we say what we really think about the cards and the balance team. Heist got a provision nerf. Well, elves are just fucking dead. Like, I'm sorry, Heist, and then Vanadane and Angus, like, no one's gonna be playing elves. Say goodbye to elves. And there's like 0 harmony buffs, by the way. Like, no harmony buffs, no movement buffs, nothing. Just the black. Like, NR got somehow the most buffs. I'm sorry, there's Gezras, which is a literally completely meaningless buff to a card that will still be shit at 12 provisions. Yeah. Like, what have they done? Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Philavandrel can now make a rebuke on deploy. No, he can't. They didn't even buff his power. They nerfed his provisions. Oh, wow, now it's just a Tree's telekinesis. Huh? Saskia buff? How is this a buff? This just makes it easier to COC it. Or Glorious Hunted on turn 1. Like, or Riptide it. Like, when it was 3, it was better. It was better at 3. This is a nerf. You fools, you've nerfed Saskia. If you wanted to buff it, you'd make it 13 provisions. That's how you buff it. That's what I mean. The people don't even know what these things mean. Like, the voting should just be, I think this card sucks, or I think this card is too good. That's what you should ask the people to vote on. Does this card make you happy in the pants? No? Then click the frowny face. That would have been my voting system. Just shows you like 10 random cards and you react with a smiley face or a sad face. Or maybe like a swipe left, swap right on mobile for the Zoomers who play Gwent on their phone somehow. Because they have fingers the size of, I don't know, small things. So eloquent today. Oh. Gwent Tinder, yes. Gwent Tinder edition. How did Simless not get it? Right, Simless! Oh my god, Simless escaped it. Because they don't see the Simless. They think it's Vanadane. Simless is so short. Notice that no short units got nerfed? Well, except for... Wait. How come this has a 1? Why is there a power? Wait. Oh my god, I don't want to look at my decks. But like, in the deck builder, if something is a special, it has a star. Okay? You want me to enhance it? Look, it's a star. Right? But somehow... Here, it's just a 1. And for anybody watching, when I make fun of somebody's work, I'm not disparaging the person. I am disparaging the work. I have created tons and tons of shitty work myself. And I would disparage it, and if you disparage my shitty work, you would be right, and I would agree with you, and I would thank you for your feedback. Unless you're wrong or something, and then I'd be like, actually, no, the reason it says 1 is because only one idiot voted for this. And then I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. Then make that more clear. And something productive would come out of it. But it is not, like, I think people should not take it personally when they create something and I say the thing is shit. It doesn't mean that you're shit. It means the thing you made is shit. Okay? Like, I go to the bathroom every day. That doesn't mean I am shit. But I create a lot of... You get it. Under here? No. I can't show you, Lulu. No. Right. I've never worked in the game industry. I've done a bunch of software development work though. I started out as a graphic designer, but I went into IT. And then consulting. Okay. Okay, I'll show you for a second. Did you see it? Oh, it doesn't even load when I do this. Does it? Yeah, it does. You saw it. The dissociation of man and his feelings is an archaic moral standard. And it's really. Or are you being sarcastic, Jen? So, right, battle stations. This one deserved nerf. Needs to be go to 13. Stefan. Like, this is probably the reason AA got buffed. Because people are like, well, compared to battle stations, it sucks, so let's buff it. Stefan to 12? I mean, it's now a 13 for 12 without the assimilated engines. It was very strong, yes. But it did require setup. I mean, I never thought these should proc assimilate, but if we can't have that, I guess people want to nerf it. I'm just going to now run it in my decks, it's fine. What it means, though, is that assimilate will just have less control and be more binary. Like, this is one of those things, like, is this card very strong? Yes. Like, does it deserve a nerf? Maybe. Like, maybe it's playing for too many points at its provision level. But should you nerf it, will it contribute to a healthier meta? No. I don't think so. Because, like assimilate losing because they can't, like, let's say you're playing Enslave 6, like, yesterday, and you run into Arrakis Queen. Like, if you don't have Stefan and Vilgefortz round 1, you just lose, right? Or, like, Kelly, or, like, you know, V. Like, without this, how do you beat V? I guess, like, you have to somehow get spying on? You can't. Like, this is a big nerf to assimilate against hyper greedy decks, and it's a big nerf to why'd you play Vilga? No, you need Vilgefortz round 1. So otherwise they copy the defender and then you lose the game. Oh, right. We haven't gone to Vilga. You're talking about a card we haven't looked at yet. Like, nerfing a card without, like, okay, just replace it with Brothans now. And Angolim, like. Heck. Not Emir, because Emir's 13, but, like, maybe you run Rosa instead. Like, although that probably got nerfed too. Well, no one's going to play Enslave anymore, Lauren, anyway. You're just going to play Double Cross with Yenvo, and you'll be fine. Like, Enslave 6 is done. We're never going to see Enslave 6 again. Which makes the Unseen Elder buff even more meaningless. Like, yeah, I know. We'll get to it. Care Trophy 11 provision? Yeah, deserved nerf. Fine. Good change. Vilgefortz to 10? Vilgefortz was fine. Literally, it took like 5 years for this card to get balanced by only pulling a bronze. To the point where it was a liability sometimes in round 3. I would mulligan it. Junior and strings? True, Valstrius. I forgot pulling the strings is now everywhere. Against Junior, though, I mean, you're going to use it on it, and you're going to click it. Like, 7 doesn't protect you from Junior, 10 does. Because people felt like it was over nerfed, I'm guessing, lights off. I don't know. I didn't vote for it. Why are you asking me? 6 power? Yeah, didn't Vilga used to be 6 power, or was that Vincent? Yeah, like, Vilga was actually for, like, you guys know how much I hate, like, my Regis getting Vilgefortz.
For the last month, Vilgefortz was actually in a good state. Vincent was 5. Maybe Cupbearer was 6. One of those guys used to be 6 and it got like nerfed a couple times. I remember two patches in a row where they lost like power. Pretty sure Vincent was 6'11". Yeah, you know what? I don't have to trust chat. My daily PSA about Gwent.1, one of the best community websites for Gwent. If you ever have a question about a card, you can just look it up and look at the history. So you can just type Vincent here, go to Vincent on Morlaham, and see his initial version in 5.0 was 6'11". Boom! Vincent was 6. You called me a liar. Then it was changed to 5. Then it was changed to 3. In 7.2. So when it came out, 5.0, this is Merchants of Ophir, around when I started playing. For around 2 months, he was 6 and became 5. And then 7 months later, he became 3 and 10. He used to be 11. Yeah, 6'11", 3'11", and then 3'10". Sorry, 5'11", and then 3'10". Yeah, people just hate voted for Vilga. They just hate getting their cards Vilgeforced. And also, they probably didn't play the last 2 weeks. Trusky's at 30? Oh my god. Oh my god, Puzzle. Okay, for those of you who don't know, well, what a lot of us said when we suspected people might vote for Magic Compass to go to 9, I'll explain, Lulu. I'll explain. To 9 people were like, no, don't. Shut up, I'll explain. Let me finish. 31 March, 30 March. I'm trying to tell you. We said that Golden Egg Pirates would be back with a vengeance, and it would be stronger, and it would be like all over the ladder, and it would be stupid good, and Masters would be all Golden Egg Pirates. Of course, people didn't listen. Of course, Shin Miri suggested this change, and so did Lionheart. Like, I saw Lionheart actually vote for this. And I told him it's bad, and he did it anyway. Now, I'm not saying this is why it happened. I'm sure Lionheart voting for it influenced some people, same with Shin. I don't think they're responsible. I think a lot of idiots voted for this. And if you're one of those idiots, you are an idiot. I'm sorry. Like, I'm an asshole, you're an idiot, your parents are depressed that their kid's an idiot. Like, the world is shit, okay? It's not my fault. We're gonna change this back. But to prove how broken it is, Trusky started playing Golden Necker Compass with Skellige. And he's like, I'm gonna play, and if I win, I'm gonna reduce my deck by 1 provision. So he started with a full deck, using all 165 provisions or whatever, and then every time he won, he took 1 provision out of his deck. So right now, he is winning games floating 30 provisions. As in, he's taking out 9 provision cards and putting in 4 Ps. Like, I saw him win with 26 floating provisions. So, like, his point was that this idea that you nerf Golden Necker by 1 provision and then you make Compass 9P and you nerf Golden Necker to compensate is idiotic and just completely, like, divorced from reality. Because it's not a matter of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 20 plus provisions. Having this card be in your deck is more than 20 provisions. Yeah, Trusky is a goat. And he's doing this in pro rank, by the way. He's not like, let me just pull up his stream. Because he's got like 500 people watching right now, if you know. Or, no, not anymore, because Shin's on. But like, look at him. He's in pro rank. Okay? Like, he's not. Let me see if I can find his profile on Gwent data. Like, this is my profile, right? Look at my win percentages. 54 with Syndicate, 58 with NG, 50 with Monsters, and then, like, less with these guys. Okay? Now let's look at Trusky. Is it Trusky _? What's his in-game name? Just Trusky. Maybe it's case sensitive. Huh. Leaderboard. Surely he's here. Does anybody have a link to Trusky's profile? We can't see his match history here, right? But you can see with Skellige, he's already played 28 games. Current season. He's won 19 of those 28 games. So he's floating 20 plus empty provisions, and he still has like a 60 plus % win rate. This is insane. Trusky? Is it Trusky? Oh. Who thought Trusky is ranked 30? What? What are you talking about? He's playing on the QST, man. Trusky's in pro. He's playing in World Masters. He's not at rank 30. That's just a visual bug. I get that too at the end of my games. Alright. Sigvald got nerfed to 9 provisions? Okay. Wait, you actually can't gain ranks when you get that bug? What if you're in pro already? You still gain MMR, so it doesn't really matter, right? He just misses Golden Necker. Pick that way. Like, that's the only way he loses. Open Sesame got changed to 6 provisions. This card is dead. We'll never see play. Bye. Maybe if it randomly comes out of like Walter Veritas or... I said, but you can't progress? Oh my god, that's so terrible. That must be like, especially if you don't know about the bug and it happens and you like you win a bunch and you don't climb and you're like frustrated. And then later you find out that all your wins didn't count for anything. Well, that's gotta be terrible. Especially when you need to get to pro to vote. Thirsty Dame. 6 provisions. Well, this is never getting played. Like, Ball is dead. Ball was viable for like 2 seasons and now it's gone. We'll get there. Only prayer. Oh, how do you see them? You click on the bell icon on the bottom. You click on this bell. It says what's new. And then over here it says the results are in. You click on it. Slave Driver to 6 provisions. This is an over nerf. This is probably like soldiers are dead. Soldiers are dead, and Slave is dead. We'll probably see some double cross assimilate. This card did not deserve a nerf to 5p. Did not deserve it. This is a nerf to Cleaver, by the way. You buffoons. The same buffoons that voted for this to go to 6 power, nerf this to 5 provisions. Brawler was dumb, sure. But... I don't know. Nerf its power to 3. So at least it can, like, be answered. I don't know. Easier. Soldiers need buffs to cards that aren't flanking? I mean, that's like the mechanic. That's what I'm saying. Vampires need to buff the cards that aren't bleeding. Muscle buff is good. Fight me. It's not that the buff is bad. It's just that it doesn't actually make Cleaver or Novigrad Injustice playable. And actively makes it so now we can't buff Cleaver and Novigrad Injustice by 1 provision, which is what they should get to be playable. So you just ruined an archetype by doing this. That's how I see it. Rich, I don't think people were trying to nerf an archetype. with the nerfs to Syndicate. They are literally nerfing the cards that they see with their eye holes that they think are beating them. They're like, that card gave him coins. Nerf that card. This card killed my units. Like, it was Novigrad that was giving him the coins or like the reach, or like letting him proc Sesame because it was giving him 1 coin trickle per round, per turn. Like, this was the thing that was beating you. You just don't see it because there's no visible animation of this thing punching your units in the face. But you do see this punching you in the face. So that's what you hate. Like, it's just emotional. The same thing that happens in every election. You know, demagoguery and appeal to emotion wins over like policy wonks and appeal to reason. Yeah, I'm just quibbling with like your wording, I guess, which I shouldn't do. Deserved it? Okay, well, Norman is the speaker for the masses. Norman said he deserved it. I guess he beat up a lot of people. Can't have that much easy removal. Yeah, but you can play around it by just putting some point slam on the board. It just requires you adapt a little bit. Don't open with a naked 4P engine. Play like your Red Freeze gang first. And then he's like hitting 1 for 1, and that's bad. Like, yes, it's a card that like is oppressive in the sense that it forces you to play around your opponent's 4 provision card. But and like on blue coin with the coin stratagem, like some decks have a hard time just establishing a board. But that doesn't make the matchup bad for you. Because as red coin, you still have the advantage of red coin against Syndicate. So blue coin being good for Brawler isn't that much of an issue. Because blue coin is notoriously bad for Syndicate. It still was. And like, but it requires that you think a little bit differently and play your deck a little differently than you usually do. I know there's fire here, but it's not enough warmth. So it's a card that is a lot more punishing to bad players than to good ones. Good ones know this is there. They know how many the opponent can play, how many he has, how many coins he has, how much reach he has. They calculate. So like I look at my opponent's leader charges and Sesame's in the graveyard and how many brawlers he's prayed and how many coins he can get this turn. And that's how I decide what card to put on the board when the threat of this exists. So Open Sesame compares with Harvest and Orbs. And when was the last time you saw Orbs played? Orbs play for 4 tempo. Harvest creates a unit and buffs a card in your hand, which has massive ramifications. Buffing a card in hand is way better than a theoretical 4 coins if you reset your coin count to 0 X number of times. Like, Harvest instantly buffs a card in your hand. Orb instantly boosts a card on the board by 4, by 2, and gives a 2 vitality. Orb is also a spell that gets played, which can proc things like Alzer or trigger Gourd. This does none of those things, right? And Harvest like gives you a unit. This doesn't give you a unit. This isn't like Diplo plus hand buffing a card in your hand by 2. Do you see how they're not the same? Has Care of them? Most Care of bronzes are 6p. This isn't. No, you can't dry pass because you have a Sesame in the graveyard. Like, if I have a Sirenova on the board, or if I have a wagon, or you know, any resilience on the board, like I said, Orbs are a spell that get auto played. They give you a charge on Gourd. They play for tempo. Like, this doesn't play for tempo. This plays for nothing. This is not the same. They're just different cards, completely and utterly different. You can compare this to like Offering. Like, Offering would be a better comparison, right? Except instead of destroying a 4, it gives you 5 coins. Offering's 5p. I don't see a line of people wanting to nerf Offering. So this is a dumb change. I'll be voting to make this 5p again. I'll be voting to make this 6p again. Here are the changes I will try to reverse. Okay. We'll have to see on the Brothen's Vigo because Nilfgaard got so many nerfs that this may just need to stay. I think Vanadane deserves a reverse. I don't know if I'll specifically vote for it, but it deserves to be 7 power. This obviously deserves a reverse because it's actually unplayable. This deserves a reverse. This deserves a reverse. I don't know that I should, like, I would expend capital on it, but this deserves a reverse. It was Dosen, Kareem. It was Dosen. Dosen has like 4,000 views per video on YouTube. I have 1,000. Help me with YouTube if you guys want me to have influence over these Pepegas. Like, help me do show matches or other wacky inflatable tube content, because that's what they like. Or somebody help me edit videos, make highlights like that. This was a bad change. This was a bad change. If you want to help Akamo, you just make highlights from, like, right now, like, you could make a highlight from, like, the best moments of this review, right? Like, every time you see something good, just type marker, like, I don't know, Mosh moment, whatever you want, whatever comment you want, and then I'll show you how you can make a highlight on Twitch using the web-based video editor. And you would see your own markers on a timeline, and you could make but let's talk after this. People voting for Vesemir but not Eskel or Lambert. Vesemir buffs. Oh. What? I mean, maybe Vesemir was the only one that got enough votes because some more people voted for him than the other ones. This is so weird. And, well, this is part of the voting system being dumb. It's like, these 3 cards should all get buffed together, but it costs 3 votes. The other things I will be trying to reverse is Slave Driver. This is, like, unplayable. I mean, I don't know, unplayable, but, like, this is, what, like, too harsh. But, like, this needs to get back to 5p and then to 2 tempo. Like, oh my god, that's gonna take a lot of work. This was unneeded. This is a very good leader. I don't know. Maybe this is deserved. This was unneeded. I don't know if I'll work to reverse it, but this is unneeded. Same with this. I don't know if I'll work to reverse it. This needs to... Lyria says this should go back to 10p. I trust him. I don't mind it myself. I think Roach is okay. Brawler, yeah, Brawler needs to go back to 4p. Pulling the strings needs to go back to 6. This is like high priority, I think. Yeah, Siege did not need a buff. I don't know what the fuck this is about. Siege AA Portal, like, this is... There's so many NR buffs this patch, I can't believe it. Also, if you want, like, a cringe take, you thought, like... Hold on. I gotta do some sleuthing. Here's one person's review. Completely useless changes. Philippa, Gezrus, Elder, Phoenix. I think Elder is not useless. Ruin. That's not useless. Nithral, Rayla, Vesemir, Cultist, Scenario and Unit, Uprising, Rumpali, Verina. I think Verina will be better now. Like, much more playable. Verina and Elder, and Ruin. But the rest of them, yeah, I agree. They don't change anything. Good changes: Brothans, Artorias, Redanian, Promother, Cleaver's Muscle, Revenants, Valblood, Acarantia, Ixora. Yeah, I don't think these were good. Nausicaa, Reaver Hunter. This was not a good change. The card is literally deleted from the game. Philippe. These are very binary opinions, I guess. Jackpot, Caretrold, Sigvald, Sesame, Dame, Slave Driver, Formation, Amphibious Assault. This was a good change? Siege, of course you think that. Indraga Larva, every nerfed Imperial Formation. Terrible changes, Reaver Scout, the murder of Enslaved 6. Amazing changes, pulling the strings, hard disagree. Bad changes, Saskia V. What? What about this one? Okay, I'll look at it after this. So, Angus, Vanadane, Temple, Mutagenerator. Can you guys guess who this is? That's making these comments. 30 is done? Oh my god, Trusky won with 30 floating provisions. Oh my god, that's insane. Yeah, Vilgefortz. Vilgefortz was a bad change. We agree on that. And these are also dumb changes. Ugh. Is majority of Gwent just NR players? If by NR players you mean clowns, then yes. Gangs didn't play anyway. They don't have enough control even with 5 peoples. Well, they have Junior and Tunnel Drill. Is that really less control than the Vice deck? Yes, Trollsafe, I see it. God damn. I have a screenshot. It's not going anywhere. Trollsafe really wants me to show you this. Any chance to get changes to how the shit show works? Yeah, they're probably gonna reduce the number of changes we can do each cycle. That's their feed. That's the thing they can do.
It's a raid.
Hey Trusky, welcome,
Trees
my
Cat
hero,
underscore
my
just traded
glorious
with
conqueror.
120
I
views.
hope you made. Guys, round of applause for Trusky for winning with Golden Necker Pirates with 30 provisions floated. I no longer have to have this argument with anyone. Lionheart, I expect a public apology announcing you were wrong and I was right, and Golden Necker, Compass should not be 9 provisions. I expect to see it on Twit longer. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, follow Trusky. Slash shout out. We're now a cult. Yes, the cult of floaty provisions. The master, the maker, and the decomposer. Not using theory in the deck, yep. As in, basically, like, he made the deck, and then he started, like, downgrading cards till he had 30 provisions left. He actually said Compass should not be provision at the start of the stream today. What? So he changed his mind? Hungry? I've never wanted to delete Gwent more than today. Yo, Eddie, no, it's gonna be fun. We'll have fun with Compass Prize next 2 weeks. No, shh. Just today, maybe we can play some stuff. Maybe for a day before everybody figures it out. But first, just yeah, okay. Hold on. Let me do my. Since I have some good players in the chat, I'll do my best hot take on what I think the meta will be with these changes, and then you guys can tell me if you disagree. I don't know if V will come back. I think we'll see a little bit more of vampires, but probably not enough to make them competitive. I think Enslaved 6 is gone. It just kind of got butchered. Well, I mean, you can still play it you don't have to play Stefan. It might still be good. You might be playing Double Cross instead. Vigo and Brothan's got buffed. That's not nothing. Like, that might compensate for Skellen. I mean, one provision we can find. Especially if you weren't running any of this stuff. Like, I wasn't running Sergeant or Slave Driver in my deck. I was running a Marine, but Marine didn't get a provision nerf, so it's fine. It can just stay. V lost the compass in that. You want a mirror with minus 27 provision? Not sure how V players make it to the game without falling asleep, dude. I don't know. It's all that is. I don't know. There's probably Krusky. Like, I know you're gonna make a D-gen version. Like, I already know you have one already in your head, ready to go. A D-gen NR deck with these like AA changes and Siege change and Reaver Scout. Like, NR seems like the big winner of this meta. I don't know if Portal is useful in NR, but like Temple Draw got buffed. Mutagen will still get played. You dislike the buff to Scout or to Compass? Buffing Scout and nerfing Nausicaa, yeah. Well, what about Brawler? Putting Scout at 5p and Slave Driver at 6p. No, this is my favorite dichotomy. Like, these two together make no sense. DJ NR will see play with Scouts. Absolutely. Scout Mutagen will be everywhere. I saw some pockets of Sesame and Brawler. I lost even Sesame and Brawler. Lost because no Necker. I would win with minus 30% against this Vice. Yeah, I believe you. CJ aren't that strong. It makes it easier to jam Siege to win the round. No, the thing that AA does is it buffs the Scout. So that you can't kill it. What do you mean it wasn't too? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, the provisions on AA don't really matter too much. What matters is what it's buffing. Like, if you're using your AA to, like, play a 9 provision card, or play an Istrid or whatever, it doesn't matter too much. But if you're using it to play a Scout, it matters a lot. It's the difference, like, the difference between a Scout living a turn and not living is enormous. It's 3 extra Sentry and Royal Guards if this thing lives. Like... Later, Ouija. Yeah, don't spend any money on Snap. You just gotta be patient, do your dailies. After 3 months, you'll be set. Like, when El Calora tells you PTS at 5 is busted, you listen, okay? Like, why are you arguing? Not that anyone in chat's arguing, but like, I can't believe we had to say it. Even Lirio on Twitter admitted, like, he's like, yeah, that's probably too much. Again, because I was like, I hard disagree with this recommendation. All right. So, what do you guys think will be the best deck? I was playing Igni Scorch line pockets to troll people earlier. Aside from pirates, obviously. Best deck will be Ogreoids. No, pirates, then Pirates Cove. The problem is SK Pirates beats Ogres, doesn't it? Make mill? No. There are some standards, some rules even I don't. Some lines even I don't cross. You predict a very greedy meta? Okay, well, you're wrong. Give us MO to counter all the pirates? Only if they give me round 1. But let's, like, the thing is, Trusky's always ahead of the meta. Like, right now, Pro Rank might not be filled with pirates. Tomorrow or 2 days from now, it will be, but it takes a little bit. I mean, a 5 PV goes muzzle that doesn't lock the unit and can... You can play a 4 of it, sign me up. Yeah. Oh, yeah, like his minus 30 provision? That would be great. Can you put... Trusky, can you make a guide? Okay. So... Does anyone have El Calora's deck? Do we still run Professor in this? It's been a while. Still need shady vendors. Where are you? Oh, thank you, sir. You should make a guide for Pirate Golden Necker. Post a screenshot of your win rate, Trusky, and just post the like minus 25 provisions version. Don't say anything about how it's you floated provisions. Just post a screenshot of your win rate and the deck. And I just want to see, as a social experiment, how many brain dead net deckers copy your pirates. Your like floaty provision pirates. No cleaver? No, of course no cleaver. Why would I play cleaver? We need Hamelfart. We need Senior. Jacques. Okay, we don't play Professor. Not until it becomes meta and then we need to win the mirror or something. We want a Disciple. Oh, we play Madame too now? Nice. But of course we play Madame. Why not? It's busted. Little birds. Beautiful, beautiful. And then the muzzles. A couple of Eagle muzzles. At least Shady Vendor will have 5 choices again. I was worried that people would nerf Sesame, and then it would just be 4 choices in Shady Vendor. Range row. But it's okay. Reddit thought of that. See, chat, and you guys say they don't think about everything. Wait, King of Beggars got nerfed? No, it's always been 12. Oh, no Hamelfart. Interesting. You play Novigrad instead? This is Sesame nerf. Oh, yeah, I have the link open. I'm just recreating it because I can't import stuff. What? How come no Hamelfart? Just curious. No tunnel drill either. Okay. Now we can put in Madame. What do I have that he doesn't? No vendors. No, you have vendors. Why am I 11 provisions over? Madame, Siggy, Jacques, KOB, Bank. Oh, there's no Novigrad. That's just Siggy. Okay. The graphic was confusing to me because I'm not Italian. I was wondering why you had Novigrad. Can't read a list? Not when it's in Italian. Time to yoink some shit. Let's go. Yep, when the streams got buffed. Naturally. Oh god. Yeah, no vote. No vote. Voting's already done. Who needs drill when you can play Madame for 60 gajillion points? Hey, it's a mirror already. do we mulligan Jacques? We have Siggy and Madame. Yeah, we'll try some vamps. We didn't get a bloody good friends or whatever. I think I need to change my stratagem, don't I? Do I? Yeah, coin seems better. No, little smashing. It will not. I don't think. Well, it's only the first one we get two in 1 month, I think. After that, it will be less. Am I supposed to just smart? Okay, in hindsight, that poison was wrong. Considering he could do that. Or at least the TA was wrong. Madame deserves a nerf. Yeah, it's hella strong. No crown splitters in the deck, right? I guess this is crown splitter. If you just want the tag, play the Tide Cloak that does 2 damage and has a horde thing. Because that one's at least playable. Like, off of Siggy. Sometimes you just need 2 coins. At least that's what I usually play for that purpose. If you need tackle from bird, you did something wrong. Interesting. Oh, cause you have you have leader. Yeah, but sometimes you get pressured, or you're like blue coin and you don't have good cards, or you can just bird here. I think losing round 1 is good for me, right? Because I can easily defend the bleed. And I didn't have the other gang or any pulling the strings, and I didn't want to get into like a fight without those cards. Oh my god. No! No! Not this. Oof. Yeah, there's no reason to play passive for a scenario when Madame is literally the same thing but better in every way and it only takes 1 turn. Oh boy. So how are you setting up your senior without Hamelfart? You just draw your disciple or what?
Should I be junioring this? We lost? Because of this? I don't know that. Okay, what? She's stronger than Siggy. Because Siggy at least requires gangs. And it's not like... It's not something you can open with. You can open with Madame. Just forget scenarios. Scenarios should not be good cards anyway. We don't need scenarios to be good. Scenarios are unhealthy binary shit design.
Slow, ain't ya?
Hey Kha'Zix, how's it going, man? Yo Kha'Zix, if you haven't tried Marvel Snap, please use the QR code up there so I can get some money and feed my children. $11K CL and Marvel Snap? Are you serious? It's like looks like a go next. Yeah. I can put this anywhere. Just because I drew KOB? Right, so what was the right play there? As in, did I lose because of draws or because of... Oh, so I shouldn't pass round one. I could have easily caught up with him. I felt like because I had both Siggy and Madame in hand and I had bank, I felt very confident. And I didn't want to lose on even round one. I felt like I could just... Like fighting round two with an extra card and having Junior in hand, I felt like I could do fine. I pass a lot when I play Syndicate. From Blue Coin anyway. To the ground with you! For fuck's sake! Why are you still here? This man is unfazed. No fucks given. Oh my god, he's actually playing Mill. Okay, well we beat Mill. And that's why we have KOB in hand.
Here's our chance. Together, but don't get used to it.
Oh my god, he takes my bank? He didn't even know that because he milled 3 cards and then he got bank. So don't even be like he planned that. I don't want to pull in the strings yet because he hasn't played Coup. Like I don't know if he plays Coup since he played Kanta. Hey, Pinky. We're in Akrantia? Yeah, Akrantia is done.
my god.
Remove his cowl, then his ears. I only need corpses.
Time to start yoinking his shit.
They're quite fresh.
Oh, I'm missing blind eyes. Of course. Assimilate? Assimilate's fine. Or, you know, maybe instead of like trying to nerf a neutral card to balance a card that breaks the game in 9p, that was literally nerfed from 9p for that exact reason, maybe we just don't. Maybe we just put Compass back in the 10 provision slot where it belongs. But hey, what the fuck do I know?
Yes, you. Have you made your offering?
He plays Artaud Mill. He's playing Assimilate Mill. Okay. Right. Classic.
Is there anyone here to whom I can entrust my missive?
The fuck is this?
Same time next week.
Best commodity in town, I swear it.
Sure. Hey guys, can we put this in the spreadsheet?
Emir's mistakes.
Put Alcalora as the author. Dame at 6 is Civilian Hawker Smuggler. Maybe? But is that the standard we're judging cards on?
Premium grade won't find any better.
You are worthy neither of mercy nor forgiveness.
He can vote his own Kanta. Okay. That's not enough. That's not enough. What the fuck? KOB was more? It really was. Lousy dog. Appropriately named. Let's look at his profile. Oh, never mind. We broke the game. 190 games with Skellige, 95 with NG. This is who the ideal Gwent player is right here. No, man, I just started. Like, this was my first game. But, and I don't build metas, right? Like, you mean new deck? Assimilate, we can try. God, so many decks are broken. Okay, Ball is dead. I can repurpose this one. There's no point in having... there's no longer any point for having a Masquerade Ball deck. It had a short stint as a playable deck. Back to the Abyss. nothing I make right now is going to be optimized, just so you know. Like, it's day one, you know. Don't expect a lot. The Syndicate deck I gave you is optimized because El Color made it. You still play this? I'm wondering if you still play this. I mean, it's not playable. Scholar is 8 right now. Why not? Wait, oh, we also have Henry. And we need to play Rune Mage. We're all Henry clowns now, chat. Just get used to it. Mage Torture. Tactic. Just need a 4 and a 5. There. Where's my Marine at? Ta-da! Where are you? Oh, it's down here. Oh, I don't have Vilgefortz. Or Yenvo. Maybe 2 remedies excessive. 2 of these is also excessive. Can I fit Yenvo? I feel like I need Atoll Punish. Or do I? Hi, Sam.